start with your big future plans, right? You've got a bunch of things lined up, whether it's a global story, a potential IPO in the making. Just want to get a sense of how this piece is shaping up for you.
So I think what's really helped us is we've been very fixated on our mission and very flexible with our execution. So if you had asked us 10 years ago, what is it that you guys want to do? It would be, we want to create an impact in the way children learn. You ask us today, the answer would be the same. You ask us 10 years from now, the answer would be the same. So very focused, but very flexible with the way we've done it, because over the years we've positively disrupted ourselves. And as we go global, so aspiration is of course to go global, and initial pilots and initial traction is great from whatever we've done so far, and also to go deeper in India. And towards that, we've also launched the app. Over the last 1 year, we fast-tracked a lot of launches, one of which was launching the app in multiple vernacular languages so that we could go to deeper parts of the country. And also many more products. So we had only math and science, and now we also have social studies. We have English as well. So the idea is to constantly push the boundaries, to do everything in learning to help a child when they learn on their own to learn in the best way possible.
Of course, COVID was an aberration in in a life cycle, and many people just took to online learning in a way that, I mean, me included, in a way that nobody anticipated people would. So in terms of the future of learning, do you think there is going to be some sort of a correction, and people will sort of normalize the idea of learning as a, as something that goes along, because it's unlikely that, at least for young children, that this stays as the primary mode once schools open.
Yeah, two things, right? So one is, what is it for teachers and what is it for students? So if you ask me, for students, there are a lot of things which are beneficial when they learn online. Like, for example, everybody gets a front row seat. So it's like a meeting like this where there are no backbenchers, right? All of us are on the same page.
Yeah.
But also they're missing out on the social skills which they would develop if they were in school, and have people around them, because there's so many things which can only be taught offline. Playing in a team, arts, right? You can't teach a child how to hold a brush online. So there are a lot of subjects which will remain offline. So the future of learning for students, at least in the K to 12 segment, I think the best would be a blended form of learning which combines the best of offline and online learning, where you have some synchronous parts which stay online, and the asynchronous parts where you can use the best of technology and help children learn from the comfort of their home in a much better way. Now, for teaching, I think this is a huge potential because, like I said, EdTech has been put in the spotlight. And so the golden age of teaching in a way has come back. And I think for the country at large, and especially women, I think there is an opportunity for the golden age of teaching to come back. Because if, some time ago, maybe 50, 20 years ago, we made software engineers for the world, I think there is potential for India to take teachers to the world.
This is something that is very close to your heart. What kind of a potential can women unlock in the education space, especially as you try and springboard into a global market?
Multiple, right? So one is definitely teaching, because I've seen, and I believe that women, that the connect which comes with a child, with a student, it's so much more. It's motherly in a way. So even the mentoring team that we have at Byju's is majority women, because they can strike a chord so well, because they understand, because they, most of the households, maybe it shouldn't be that way, but most of the household, it is the woman who's very, very involved in her child's learning, growing, development, and all of that. And they do that with ease. I mean, we've seen enough successful women who do both. So I'm not saying that as, a negative, but more as a positive. And that being said, women who have a good education now have the potential and the opportunity to take charge of their lives, of their career. And I always say, and I always say this, that do not marry someone who will buy you a diamond ring, but marry someone who will support you so that you can buy one for yourself. Because it's of course nice that someone gifts it to you, but then when you're able to do it on your own, the satisfaction and pleasure is something else. So, and I think women have a lot of women to take inspiration from, especially if you look people around our age with kids. Most of the drop-offs in the career happens around now because the family commitments set in.
Yeah, indeed. For you, as you now move to the next level of leadership in terms of not just the brand but also people, how do you make your company to be more people first? Because clearly, Baiju's model is people driving this entire knowledge across a tech platform?
Yeah, in fact, if anybody asks me what's your biggest strength, do we have a great product? I would like to believe yes, and all of that. But the biggest strength that we have today, which I would proudly say, is the people within us. So the entire founding team who was here when we started is here even today. So we over index on the importance of people is what I would like, which what I would like to say, because and that clearly shows, because we value the people who brought us from 0 to 1, and we manage to integrate people along the way, make them also, because both are really important as you grow up as a company. When you're a very small startup, then you grow up, you become a bigger startup, then you start becoming a new age company. So many people start coming in, but it's important to understand and realize and give importance to the people who brought you up from 0 to 1, and integrate those who are going to take you from 1 to 10. And when they work together with a founder kind of mentality, is when things will work out for you.
So I want to ask you one question very frankly. There are times when in the media they call you Baiju's better half. How
Hmm.
do you feel about that? And I'm just curious, like, do you take that with a pinch of salt? Just wondering.
I think it's a big advantage to work with your co-founder, who's also a partner. And unlike what you see on television, where they say opposites attract and all of that, having people who think in a similar way in real life really matters. So we both are very like-minded people. So he could be called Divya's better half, or I could be called Baiju's better half. It's okay as long as the company is running at the speed at which it's running, and it's okay as long as we are having fun doing what we're doing every day, because our interests are so similar, and I think that's what clicks. It's outside Byju's. It's just our children now, and we love traveling together and doing everything together. Like I said, our interests are very very much similar.
So tell me, as a couple, as business partners, yeah, does it sometimes get what do you put ahead when you have to take a decision because you're in a conference room and you're also a couple and you're also good friends and you also started up the company together. So how do you navigate that? Because I'm guessing it's true for many women and men who work together.
Yes, and I would not say just for the two of us, for the entire founding team, we're actually like a family. So it's not that we do not have different points of view or different opinions. Everybody is supposed to have that, because only when you have diversity in the board table, boardroom, do you have a multidimensional approach to problem solving and solution creation. And I think diversity helps you do that.
What was your first earning like? What was your first job, or how was it? How was your first earning experience?
So the first salary, I spent it completely on my parents, and I still remember it was my first salary from teaching at the then Byju's classes. I started out as a teacher, and I spent it on my parents. I bought a sari for my mom, and I bought a shirt for my dad, and I had nothing left at the end.
That's very sweet. Okay, why are women so hard on themselves?
I think this whole multi-dimensional, multitasking rather approach is something which is very, very beneficial to women, but it can come back and hit you, because then you start thinking that you can do everything on your own at the same point of time, which is something which is not possible. I've seen that. So I think it's important to create artificial boundaries for yourself and say, if I'm doing A, I'm going to do A at this time for this hour, and I'm going to give it 100%. And then I'm going to do B the next hour and then give 100% over there and not do anything else. So this whole multitasking approach can come back and hit. We are blessed with it, but it can also become a bane.